Hi, everyone. Good afternoon, everyone. I would like to welcome all of you to this webinar. But first, let me call my co-host or co-moderator, our Chief Product Officer, Jan Maxwell Coach. Let's all welcome Miss Minette Carag. Ate Minette, how are you?
Hi, everyone.
Hi, good afternoon.
Welcome to all our,
So, welcome natin sila, ma'am. What's for a few opening to welcome the distributors what we have now this afternoon.
Isang mapagpalang lockdown sa inyong lahat. Welcome sa webinar. Welcome sa webinar na to, and I think Bing is going to give us a run-through of what we are expect to hear this afternoon.
Yes. So as we continue to look out for the welfare of every business owner and searching for ways and solutions on how to help with everyone's livelihood, especially our business owner, we have invited a medical doctor. Nako, excited na kayo lahat for sure. Pero let me read. No, I would just like to read few of his credentials. Okay, integrative and lifestyle medicine doctor, Western plus traditional Chinese medicine, a seasoned acupuncturist, 35 years of family physician, UP College of Medicine, grade school, high school Ateneo, graduate degree in missions, Asian Theological Seminary, ortho molecular medicine, missionary doctor, founder medical of Centro Holistica, chief medical officer of the MyDoc Now, a telemedicine. I am extremely honored and privileged to bring him into this webinar. Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause for Dr. Mike Vergara. Doc?
Magandang hapon po sa inyong lahat. I hope you're all well rested.
Oh, yes.
And ready to listen to this talk, this lecture. I'm excited. I hope you are.
Yes. Okay, so to give you an overview, no, mga business owners, I have given 4 topics for the doctor to discuss. No? So first, i-discuss niya yung mental awareness, especially our fear. Kasi I know some of us or almost all of us takot pa din, nagpapanik on what we are going to do. So Doc Mikey will share a few things no, about the mental wellness, yung fear na yan. And then the second is how can we overcome, no? What are the things that we need to do to overcome this fear? And then he will talk also about the virus. Okay, so yung quantity and quality ng virus if you have, and then your immune system. And especially, our last topic is the barley and immunity, and then the vitamin C. So the last, we have 10 questions already. Okay, so Doc, let's start naman po. How do we overcome the fear? Let's discuss about the mental awareness, wellness.
Yeah. Oh, thank you, Bing. No, and thank you for giving me this opportunity to share my experience. No, to share the knowledge that I have accumulated. No, over so many years of practice, and I've been following this COVID thing since January. No, hindi pa pumuputok. Nagle-lecture na ako tungkol sa sa COVID, and I wish, I really wish that I had the opportunity to help the government, more directly. In the 1990s, under Secretary Flavier of the Department of Health, I was in charge of all the disasters. In fact, I was in charge of the disasters of the whole country. In 1993. So I'm still aware. I know my stuff. And if that happened during Flavier's time, then I would have been the one on top, watching the whole thing. Now I just have to watch and get frustrated. More directly. But in general, in the 90s, compared to other countries, we're okay. We could have done a little better, Pero we're doing well. We're doing well, no? Mukhang masunurin ng most of the Filipinos. Diba? Most. Hindi lahat, no? Marami akong nakikita sa, sa internet about those or not, no?
Yes.
Now, the reason why we have fear in general, is basically we don't know kasi what's happening, diba? We don't know what's in store for us in the future, no? We're scared na baka we might have to disrupt our normal routine of life, which is true, diba? And anong mangyayari after all of these things, diba? May fear na magkakasakit ba ako? Hindi. Kung magkasakit ako, ang mga anak ko, mga will they get? So there are many questions, How will my business do? Diba? Over the next several months. I have 3 clinics, I have 14 doctors, I have 3 clinics, many nurses, and we're all on standby, diba? So if you see the economics of not holding clinics or not opening the clinics, then I have issues about how long can I keep my nurses, What do I tell my doctors?
Yes.
When do we open again? So ito maraming anxiety, di ba? Maraming anxiety. You cannot get rid of that. It's good that you're anxious because when you're anxious, you are looking at the issue. You're looking at the issue head on, which is good. Do not run away from it. Huwag kang mag-deny na hindi nangyayari ito. Nandun yan. Okay? Now, the question is, will you be afraid?
Yes.
Okay? And some people are. Some of my nurses are. Many of them want to open and the others don't want. So, we're a democracy, so we always talk again via Zoom, na kailan tayo mag-uumpisa, diba? And we finally decided that next week, we're going to open. But you have to take precautions. So why do we have fear? Fear of the unknown, the fear of the future because it is unseen. Ganito lang yan ang fear,
Yes.
If you enter a room sa gabi, na madilim, di ba? Most people, especially if you're young, natatakot, Huwag tayong pumasok doon madilim, Di ba? Ganyan yan. Why? Because they don't know what's inside. They don't know what to expect in the dark room. So, the solution there is, what do people do kapag madilim ang kwarto? Normally. Correct. I saw your lips. Okay? I didn't hear, but I saw you. Turn on the light. Di ba? Turn on the light. And this is what I'm going to teach you and how to turn on the light. There are, in my dark room, I have 2 switches. Okay? And I will tell you, I'll discuss itong dalawang switch. So to turn on both lights. Okay? I'll read from some of my notes. Okay? By turning on the light, you gain knowledge. Okay? Diba? You turn on the light and the dark room goes, oh, ganito lang pala. Wala palang multo dito. Diba? Ganyan yan. Turn on the light and you go, oh, now I can maneuver myself. I can walk around without bumping anything. Diba? Hindi na ako kakapa. I'm not anxious. I'm not afraid I'm going to fall because now I can see. There's a song, it's a Christian song called Amazing Grace. And it talks about being lost because he couldn't see. But as soon as he could see, he saw the light. And because he saw the light, he saw love, he saw the reassurance of the Lord and all. So it's all about that talaga. The first, switch, diba? I have 2 switches to turn on the light of knowledge. The first switch is called the patient demographics. In short, sino ba ang mga talagang nagkakasakit? Diba? Sino nagkakasakit? Kasi lahat, or karamihan, takot. But in reality, if you study the disease very well, many people don't have to be afraid actually. So proper knowledge will get them to be a little more aware, no? A little less afraid. No? They'll be more confident in themselves. I hope not overconfident, no? But still being wary, being cautious. But you have to know kung sino talagang nakakasakit. So now, at this point, I'm going to ask everybody to play a little game with me, if you don't mind. Okay? Guys, everybody who's listening or everybody who's watching, pati kayo, no? Bing. Okay, so I will ask a question and you tell me or you respond to what I'm going to say, okay? This is regarding kung sino magkakasakit. So, everybody, please stand up muna. Stand up, everybody. Stand up. Come on. I know I'm not watching you. No, nobody's watching you, but please stand up. No, this is important. No, you have to make the point by doing something. Okay, I don't like all words lang. No, stand up. I will ask a question, and the question is, all those who are not senior citizens, please sit down. All those who are not senior citizens, please sit down. Okay, no one's watching. No one's watching. Okay, except you. Okay, so magpakatotoo kayo. All those who are not senior citizens, please sit down. Okay? Now, to all the senior citizens, 61 and above, no? Ako 61 ako. Okay? If you do not have hypertension or if you remain standing, remain standing, all of you senior citizens. Okay? If you do not have hypertension or diabetes or you are not obesely overweight, no? Please sit down also. Please sit down. Ang mga senior citizen na walang diabetes, walang alta presyon, at hindi masyadong malaki. Okay? Hindi masyadong overweight. Please sit down. Okay. So, all of the people sitting down, wag na kayong matakot masyado. Okay? Wag na kayong matakot. However, those who are not senior citizens, who are overweight, grossly overweight, meaning ang BMI nyo is more than 30. Okay? That's the definition of obesity. Okay? Or those who have uncontrolled diabetes, or those who have uncontrolled hypertension. All those na hindi senior citizen, na may uncontrolled diabetes at alta presyon and obesity, please stand up ulit. Okay? Please stand up ulit. Sorry, but you have to stand up. No? If kung meron man, okay? Kung meron, uncontrolled. Okay? So you see now, all those who are standing up, they're medyo in the risky, di ba? Risky category. All those sitting down, which will be close to 85, 90% of you, no? Huwag kayong matakot. Okay? Be careful, be cautious. Okay? Pero huwag kayong matakot. No? Because even if you get it, no? Even if you get it, most of the time, no? 80% of the time, in fact, 80% of the time, wala kayong simptomas, ni isang simptomas. Okay? So do not worry. Okay? Do not worry. Many people worry too much. And the worrying, maniwala kayo, when you worry, you express negative energy. This negative energy makes your immune system low. Okay? Makes your immune system low. So even if you have it, but you are very positive, no? You will increase your immune system. Okay? Magiging mas malakas kayo, no? And you're able to prevent the full-blown expression of the infection. Maliwanag yan? Klaro? Okay. So all those who are standing up still, stand up still. Okay? I'll make you sit. Is there anything you can do? Yes. There are many things you can do. Okay? You can do, especially switching on the second switch ng bahay. Di ba? Dalawa yan eh. Ng kwarto pala. Di ba? Una, first switch is knowing your demographics. Kung sino talaga ang mas risk, mas high risk kung sino ang hindi kailangan matakot. Okay? Guys, I belong to the group that is standing up, no? Because I am 61 years old. Only for that fact, no? I am not obese. I don't have hypertension. I don't have diabetes. Okay? So actually, I should be sitting down. No, I should be. Anyway, so I'm 61 years old. I'm going to admit, no, that before the lockdown, I actually got positive for COVID. Okay? Why? Because I had so many patients, no? And many of my patients are mga ano yan eh, party goers or mga the people who travel a lot. No? They travel a lot. And many of them, when they see you, and we ask the questions, have you been abroad or not? Many of them say no. No? Many of them say no. May nag-amin, no, na afterwards when I saw her for the third time, na she's a travel executive and she did come from China. Okay, so immediately I got myself tested, and I was positive. Okay, so I quarantined myself for 14 days and counting. No, more than 1 month na. No, and I tested myself again. I'm negative na. Okay? Wala na yung sakit sa akin. Hindi na ako makakahawa ng ibang tao. Pero, the good news is, now I have the antibodies. Okay? Most likely, now, according to WHO and the CDC in the US, most likely, hindi na ako magkakasakit ulit. Okay? It's like I was able to get the vaccine that is coming out next year pa. Diba? So those who are waiting for the vaccine, next year pa yan. Ako, nagka-vaccinate na ako because of that little exposure I have. I'm almost certain that by the time the vaccine comes out next year, at least 80% of our population would have been exposed already. Okay? Because that's next year now. And it is good in the sense that we will reach herd immunity, pero we still have to be very cautious that the elderly and the people who are sick, no? You call it comorbidity, no? Those who have comorbidities, especially diabetes, no? Heart disease, and obesity, no? Sila ang magkakaano, no? Silang mas high risk. No? So if there are people in your house, your parents, maybe, o kayo, relatives or what, extra careful sa kanila. Extra careful. Now, it doesn't mean na dahil may comorbidity sila, makakasakit sila. Hindi. No? That's not true. There are many people who have been sick that who have comorbidities that are walking, no, and very well. Why? Because of switch number 2. Okay? Now, switch number 2, and if there's one take home, no, if there's one take home today, no, it is this, no. Listen very carefully, guys. Huh? You might even know this. This is a tool to help you assess whether you will get sick, or or somebody else will get sick, no, or this is about infection. There are 3 factors that will determine whether you will catch the COVID virus or not. 3 factors. Okay. The first factor is how strong is this virus? Okay. How strong is this virus we're talking to in particular? There have been many viruses over the past years, like the SARS, the MERS, marami, no? Every year, may trangkaso, may sipon. Yung sipon, ano yan, ha? Virus yan. Kaya walang gamot sa sipon, eh. No? You're taking sipon, kung may sipon ka, tapos nag-antibiotic, mali. Diba? Kasi ang antibiotic para sa bacteria, hindi para sa sipon. Ang virus, walang gamot. Okay? For now. Walang gamot na iniinom, ha? For now. Okay? So, 1, again, factor number 1, how strong is this virus? Ang sagot dun is, the virus is quite strong. Okay? Why is it strong? Because it is what they call a novel virus or a new, bago. Ngayon lang natin nakita sa buong mundo. Okay? It is a novel virus. Ang mga tao ngayon, I don't know how many billion we are now, the 8 billion people in the world now, we have never seen this before. Kaya wala pa tayong natural defense or antibodies para sa virus na yan. Okay? We don't know how to fight it. Our bodies don't know how to fight it. No? So kapag pumasok sa katawan natin yan, we don't know how to react. No? Banat ng banat yung virus na yan, wala tayong depensa. No? Up to such time that it might overcome our defenses and we might get into a serious condition. Okay, so factor number 1, how strong is this virus? And the answer is, it's very strong. Okay. Number 2, second factor is the quantity of the virus na na-affect sa'yo, no? That is infecting you. If there's only one virus that got into your system, no, and you are relatively healthy, kayang-kayang yan no? Sampalin mo lang yung in the words for president, no? Sampalin mo lang yung virus na yan, di ba? Kung isa lang yan, no? If that is only one. Okay? Kung milyon ang virus na yan, kahit na sampalin mo, baka hindi umalis yan. Di ba? Now, it's a combination, no? That virus quantity, no, it's called the viral load. The viral load. How much of that virus got into you? Okay? Kung yung virus, this is the equation. Kung yung virus is weak, di ba? Kahit milyon na virus ang pumasok sa iyo, mahina yung virus. No? Kayang-kayang yan. Kayang-kayang isampal. Okay? But if the virus is strong and a million of it enter you, mahirap yan di ba? It's difficult. Difficult to fight. Now, we go to factor number 3. So the first 2 factors are related to the virus. How strong is it and how much of it goes to you? What is the viral load? Factor number 3 is all about you. Okay? It is how strong is your immunity. Gets? If your immunity is, or your self-defense, no, your innate defense ng katawan, if your immunity is mahina, konting virus lang, talo ka na yan. Pero kung malakas ang immunity mo, ang konting virus, isang sampal. Diba? 1,000 viruses, 2 sampal. 1 million viruses, 3 sampal. Wala na. Diba? So even if you were exposed, but your immune system is strong, walang mangyayari sa'yo. Yung pasyente kong nag-admit na galing siya sa China, 3 beses ko nakita yan. Okay? Kaya sabi ko, oh, Maria naman, di ba? Why didn't she tell me earlier? Anyway, that's why I got it right away. I had 0 symptoms. Zero symptoms. Walang ubo, walang lagnat, walang sakit ng katawan, walang hirap sa paghinga, nothing. No? Why? I mean, I have to make payabang here. No? Why? Maybe because my immune system is strong. Kasi inaalagaan ko ang sarili ko. Or maybe I should say my wife takes care of me very well. Okay? She takes care of me very well. She's a doctor as well. Okay? She's a doctor as well. We're very familiar with this. And she, no, if I have to admit again, she was also positive, no, from another patient. In fact, I think she got it almost the same time that I got it. And she's 7.5 months pregnant. Huh? She got it, she was about 6.5 months, 6 months pregnant. No? This is about more than a month ago. No? We got this thing. Or probably a month ago. And no? Did we have any symptoms? None. Bakit? Bakit? Well, 1, the virus is strong. We have nothing to do with that anymore. 2, baka hindi mataas ang load, no? Ang viral load. But I think in my case, because I saw the patient 3 times, I think medyo mataas ang viral load ko. But I know for sure that there is one thing I can control by myself. No? And I controlled my immunity. Diba? I was strong. Okay? I ate correctly. I have positive attitude. No? Wala akong diabetes. Hindi ako overweight. Wala akong alta presyon. Meron akong kadaldalan. Diba? Pero hindi yan kasama sa sa morbidity, 'di ba? Sa high risk, no? So, okay lang. I was well. So, if there is one thing you can control in this COVID crisis of ours is your immunity. Yan, makokontrol mo yan. Can you control the viral load that will get into you? Yes, you can. Wear a mask. Diba? Then you can control the load. We cannot control the strength of the virus. No? Innate to the virus yan. No? Can we control the quantity? Yes. Wear a mask. Social distancing. Diba? Tama yan eh. Lahat yan tama. It addresses 1/3 of the problem. Okay? It addresses 1/3 of the problem. The other 1/3, we have no control of. No? The strength of the virus. Social distancing, wearing mask, wearing glove, proper hygiene, washing hands, lahat yan, tama yan. It controls 1/3 of the problem. We still have another 1/3. That is our immunity. No? Only we, only us. No? Tayo lang ang makakakontrol yan. No? Tayo lang ang makakakontrol yan. So, that is very, very, very important. Okay? Immunity. No? How do we increase our immunity? And you know where I'm going through to already, no? Alam mo na yung direction nito, no? Controlling our immunity, getting stronger. Malinaw ba yan? Malinaw, ha? Okay. If you have questions later on, no, you can ask questions. If hindi maabot ang question nyo, please write it down. I'll be more than willing to answer you in writing. Okay? Okay. So, that has to do with fear. Now that you know that there is something you can do, no, by increasing immunity and listening talaga to our public health experts, no, you can relax. Okay? So, you listen very carefully. Okay? Listen very carefully. Washing hands, mask, social distancing, that will take care of 1/3. The other 2/3 is strengthening yourself. Okay? So, eat well, hydrate well, no? Take the right foods. Do not eat junk food. Keep away from sugar. Diba? All of these will help you. Okay? 2/3 na yan. No? Tapos nga, kung hindi ka nasa high risk area, na high risk walang comorbidities, ito mas lalong walang mangyayari. That is the reason why 99% of the people that you know, including yourself, most likely will not end up in the hospital. Diba? 99%. Please focus on that. 99% most likely hindi kayo magkakasakit. No? You might get the virus, but you will not get sick like me. Okay? Ako 61 na ako. No, most of you are younger than me. Diba? Most of you will not get sick. 99%. If you had an exam and you got 99% in the exam, will you be happy or not? Of course you will. Okay? So, be happy. No? Most of you will belong to that 99%. No? 1%, long shot na yan. Long shot. Okay? So, will you still have fear? No. Lalagpak pa kayo? Hindi. 99% eh. No? Halos 100% na yan. Do not fear. Now, for those with high risk, no, and comorbidities, is there something you can do? And of course, the answer is Yes. No? The answer is yes. Lifestyle lang yan eh. No? Lifestyle medicine. No? Cut your sugar. Exercise a little bit. Move. Every time you move, your heart is smiling. No? Every time you take a step, no, your heart will smile. Because the blood vessel in your legs, no, every time you step, your leg muscles will pump the blood and make it circulate in your system. Okay? Every step you take is an extra pump of blood around your system. Okay? So it's helping the heart. Hindi nahihirapan ang pusong tumibok, di ba? Kasi the feet, your muscles are helping it beat. Okay? So exercise is good. Okay? Eating the right foods, no? Taking the right nutrients is good. There's no other way to to get something healthy but to feed it properly. No? What you feed your body is what you become. Okay? If you feed your body junk food, your body is junk. Okay? Simple lang yan, di ba? How can you be healthy kung yung binibigay mong pagkain is junk? Diba? It's like semento eh. Diba? Gusto mong magtayo ng bahay, diba? Ang gagamitin mong semento, yung mukhang semento lang pero hindi talaga semento. Eh, konting lindol, bagsak na yan. Diba? Feed your body with high quality foods. Okay? Feed your body with high quality foods. And we will talk about that later on. But I am telling you, in my clinic, I don't want to make payabang, okay? Please, okay? But I have to tell you the truth, okay? In my clinic, if you have diabetes or you have hypertension, I can guarantee you, as long as you listen to my payo, I will take you out of diabetes, I will take you out of hypertension within 3 months' time, okay? There is no such thing as panghabang buhay ka, may ano. Okay? Maybe for some doctors kasi they don't know what to do. Sorry, no? Pero marami talagang hindi nakakalam kung ano ang dapat gawin. You have diabetes? What do many doctors do? Many, not all. They give you medicine to bring down your blood sugar. Di ba? At the end of the day, your blood sugar is controlled. True. At the end of your life, are you still a diabetic or not? No? You are. You are. You weren't cured of your diabetes. No? Na-control lang ang blood sugar nyo. Diba? So, you died a diabetic. You were never cured of your diabetes. Tama? Same thing with hypertension. Okay? I'm telling you, I've been practicing for 35 years. Okay? I see it with my own eyes almost every day. No? Almost every day. That's why I feel very frustrated when I see relatives, friends, loved ones who do not want to follow simple advice. Simple advice that even Hippocrates told us. Diba? You know, being doctors, no? After passing the board exams, we all come together, no? Walang social distancing, no? And we are all made to swear. What is it called? It's called the Hippocratic Oath. The Oath of Hippocrates. And who is Hippocrates? He's the father of modern medicine. Father of modern medicine. And it is Hippocrates, okay, the father of modern medicine, that said, I'm sure many of you have heard this before, let food be your medicine and medicine be your food. Okay? Father of modern medicine. Wala siyang sinabing, uminom ka ng chemicals na 3 beses sa isang araw for 10 days, no? After which you take all of these steroids na man-made. Walang ganun si Hippocrates. Hippocrates is about food. Okay? It is about nutrition. It is about nutrition. Yan that's what we swear on. Diba? Simple lang eh. No? Let food be your medicine, medicine your food. Of course, there are other things, no? Like taking care of your fellow doctors, the family of your doctors, do no harm. Ganyan. Lahat yan nasa, nasa Hippocratic Oath. Okay? So, we have this teaching that goes down over the centuries about food being your medicine. Ngayon, ano nangyari? Ba't hindi na ganun? Diba? Why haven't we continued that way of treatment? Okay, some of us have, including myself. No, I still believe in Hippocrates, diba? I still believe in food. I still believe in nutrition. However, para may historical background lang kayo, okay? This was all correct until the 1930s. Okay? Actually, in particular, I think it was 1927 when a scientist discovered penicillin. Okay? Now, penicillin is a natural substance. Okay? It is mold. No? Nakita niya may mold, may amag. May amag sa tinapay niya. Diba? And when he cultured it, no, he found out that namamatay ang mga bacteria. Diba? So everything around the penicillin was sterile. No? So he looked into it and he discovered penicillin. Now, it was only in 1934 when they started manufacturing penicillin in a laboratory. And in World War II, when World War II came, and there was so much need to treat wounds and infections, they mass-produced penicillin. Okay? And it worked. Okay? Penicillin was able to cure many, 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 many diseases. No? And not only that, the laboratory said, pwede natin ibenta to. Diba? And they did. So that was the birth of the pharmaceutical industry. No? And the capitalism. No? How the pharmaceutical industry started to grow. No? And that's not bad, no, per se. As is, that's not bad. Buti na nga eh. Di ba? Buti na nga because now they're able to serve more people. However, there are some people who are a little greedy, no? So they make other medicines. No? People got smarter because people are smart, and they ended up selling things that they made. No? And since they were making money out of things that they made, no, mga laboratory made stuff, and they're not making money out of natural products, they focused on the unnatural products. Okay? The man-made products. So ang focus naging man-made products. So yung herbal medicine medyo na sidetrack. But you'll be surprised, huh? You'll be surprised. Ang mga diabetic doon, no? Who are again, those who are listening. The diabetics, please raise your hand. One hand lang. Left, right. One hand lang. Keep it up. Are you, for the diabetics, are you taking metformin? Okay. Most of you will. Maybe 90%, 99% of you will be taking metformin. Okay. Tanong ko, did you know that metformin is actually a herbal medicine? Ano? No? Most likely you didn't know. No? Most likely you didn't. That's why it's cheap. Okay? That's why they invent other medicines. Okay? And if you look at the other medicines, they are quite expensive. Okay? But metformin is a natural derivative, no, of a plant. No? It's called goat's rue. That was discovered when people saw their goats, when they ate the plant, the goats would collapse. They would collapse because of hypoglycemia. Their blood sugar went down. So it's called goat's rue. I have another question. To those who have arthritis, or other stuff, even heart disease. you know, all of us have heard about aspirin. Okay? Did you know that aspirin is also a herbal medicine? Okay? You'll see that many of these big-time medicines are actually herbal in nature. Okay? You know what else is, penicillin? Of course, as I said, no? That's natural. So the top 3 medicines, no, that man has used over the last century, aspirin, penicillin, and metformin, all of those are herbal meds. Okay? All of those are herbal meds. So if a doctor says, I don't believe in herbal meds, medyo hindi masyadong educated. Ba? He doesn't know his history. You don't have to make him sampal. Okay? You may want to teach him or inform him, but you don't have to. Because it's very hard to change the minds of doctors. I teach a lot and I teach a lot of doctors. And it's very difficult for them to learn something new. No? Yan, turo sa amin sa med school ito Di ba? Ngayon, sinasabi mo, kanyan. Di ba? Parang, ha? Diba? Sorry, I told you, I'm madaldal. Okay? When I was in med school, because I want to drive this point. Okay? When I was in med school, first year med school, okay, magalit sa akin, I joined a fraternity. Okay? And I joined the fraternity kasi yung kapatid ko, no? Ako who's also a doctor, joined the fraternity ahead of me. He's older than me. So when I went to med school in UP, I joined the fraternity. Okay? And of course, like all fraternities, may bugbugan yan, di ba? So, make the long story short, after the bugbugan and all, no? Which lasted, several days, ang pinainom sa amin, no, ng mga doktor, kasi mga brad namin, doktor, was a medicine called papace. Papace. Papace is a chemical that you find, a natural chemical that you find in papaya. Okay? The chemical is called papain. Okay? The medicine is called papace. Galing sa papaya. It is an anti-inflammatory. Okay? So, yan ang gamot namin. That was early 80s. Okay? Early 80s. Yeah. In fact, 1980. No? So, yan ang gamot sa amin. Anti-inflammatory para sa mga maga. Along the way, in my med school, no? So second, third year na ako, may nag-imbento ng NSAIDs, no? Non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs. Katulad ng mefenamic acid, ibuprofen, diba? Diclofenac, all of that stuff. So, may nag-imbento niyan. The pharmaceutical industry now has mefenamic acid. NSAIDs, non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs. Do you know what happened in our FDA and in the US FDA? Because now they had the NSAIDs, pinagbawalan ang papace. Bawal ang papace. Why? Because there is no evidence daw, no? Evidence-based or whatever. No? It's a game that the West plays. There's no proof, there is no not enough studies, not enough studies, no, to show that papace is safe. In short, they're saying hindi tayo sigurado kung safe ang papaya o hindi, di ba? So sa loob ko, hindi safe ang papaya, no? Kahit bumagsak yung papaya na yan sa ulo ko galing sa puno, hindi ako magkakabukol, diba? The only time I will get hurt with papaya is if I swallow the whole papaya. Diba? Then I cannot breathe. Diba? Then I cannot breathe. Pero come on, you tell me that papaya is not safe? And NSAID is safe? Diba? Diba? Anong side effect ng papaya? Maganda nga para sa cleansing, no? Na gastrointestinal tract. Diba? In fact, if you ask your lola or your great-grandlola, kung paano, or kayo, mga nakikinig who have knowledge in cooking, ang pampalambot ng karne when you cook is papaya. you put unripened papaya. No? Because the chemical of that is anti-inflammatory. It will soften it up. No? It will soften it up. Now, what? Bawal. Wala nang pa-paste. Now, listen to this. May side effect bang NSAID? Yes, marami. Marami. Do you know that in the US now, the number one cause of death in elderly patients, 80 years old and above, excluding COVID, kasi bagong COVID, is due to the intake of NSAIDs. Ibuprofen, more specifically, pero NSAIDs in general. Why? Kasi kapag matanda ka, marami kang sakit eh. Di ba? At least some people, arthritis, sakit ng likod, sakit ng tuhod, sakit ng kung ano, banat sila ng banat ng NSAIDs. Ayan, namamatay sa gastric bleeding. Gastric bleeding. Yan ang main side effect ng NSAIDs. No? Magdudugo ang tiyan, no? Your stomach, no? You will have bleeding. You will end up with ulcers. And I have to tell you now, my mother, my dear mother, died because of ibuprofen. As much as I told her, do not take ibuprofen, diba? At least not regularly. No? She followed naman. She followed. No? Because she has arthritis. Ano yan eh? Piano player yan eh. No? So, ang mga fingers niya, joints, medyo matigas and very stiff. No? So, she was 85 years old, playing piano, masyadong tight ang she took ibuprofen. 2 times that day. 2 times. At 8 o'clock in the evening, yung caregiver niya, tumawag sa akin, nasa clinic pa ako noon, and they said, Doc, pakipunta dito kagad. Can you come here quickly? No? Because your mother is bleeding. So I dropped my last 2 patients, ran to her apartment, dito sa Maynila. No? And I saw her, and she had uncontrolled bleeding of the, through the anus, okay, because of gastric bleeding. No? She didn't want to be brought to the hospital, no? And she was really pale. In a few hours, I lay down beside her when she died. Okay, she just lost it. Wala. No? And when I asked the caregiver goes, I asked her, ano nangyari? And she goes, she took ibuprofen. And I said, how many did you give her? She goes, 2 lang today. The rest of the week, the past week, 0. Diba? 0 ibuprofen. Itong araw lang, uminom siya ng 2. Dead ball. Okay? Now, tell me, may side effect bang NSAID? No? Mas okay bang NSAID kaysa sa papaya? Hindi. Diba? Hindi. So you have to understand that in this world that we live in, there is such a thing as a pharmaceutical industry. Okay? The pharmaceutical industry. And the bottom line of the pharmaceutical industry is not healing. It is profit. If they can heal with profit, okay lang sa akin. Okay lang. So what if you earn? Diba? Good, you earn. Pero, you do it responsibly. Hippocratic oath. Diba? Do no harm. Rule number 1 yan sa pagka-doktor eh. Do no harm. And yet, the medicine they give does harm. It kills. And the one na pinatabi nila, na bawal to, papaya. Diba? Can you see? Can you see the logic that we have in this world? It is not right. Okay? Because I just want you to know that that is the truth. Coming from a doctor, that is the truth. There was one time in my life, I didn't want to practice anymore my medicine. Nahihiya ako eh. Hiyang-hiya ako na doktor ako sa Pilipinas. No? Why? Because of the way we practice medicine here. Okay? And then I found out, it works pala sa States. Diba? So I said, oh, sige. Diba? And then I was asked by Dr. Flavier during his time, 1992, if I can help, if I can help him. And I told myself, okay, this is the time, this is my opportunity. God is giving me this opportunity to help people, okay? To help people in an institutional way. Okay? So, under Flavier, no, I was a deputy director of the National Drug Policy. Okay? I chose that because he asked me, he goes, Doc Mike, I want you to work with me, no? Or work for me. I said, in what capacity? He goes, ikaw, sabihin mo sa akin kung anong gusto mong gawin. No? So I had two things. I said, I want to tackle the injustice in the pharmaceutical industry. One. Okay? Because at that time, nasa UP Diliman pa ako, the statistic was to make penicillin, one penicillin capsule, the cost was 5 centavos. Okay? Pero the cost to manufacture, pero they were selling penicillin capsules at that time at 1 peso and 20 centavos. So I said, bakit ganun, no? Napakalaki naman ang ang daming mahihirap na who cannot afford medicine, and yet so they die, di ba? Because they cannot afford, and yet there are many people who are getting rich. So it was mabigat sa loob ko yan eh. That's why when I was asked so many years later, naging doktor na ako, no? So many years later by Flavier, if I wanted to do something for the government, I said yes, I want to take care of this pharmaceutical injustice. No? So I kind of did, no, a little bit. There was a time I was the OIC, no, officer in charge of BFAD. BFAD dati ang tawag namin doon, no? Bureau of Food and Drug. No? Kasi ang daming corruption, and it was difficult to control. No? And okay, and I was asked, no, by Flavier, no, if I can straighten out the system in the Bureau of Food and Drug. No? So I was the OIC for I think 4 months. No? We computerized the operations of Bureau of Food and Drug. So instead of 4 months waiting, 4 years waiting, no, it became 3 months. So medyo okay, happy ako doon. Anyway, that's it. Okay. So I want you to know that nutrition is the way to go. Okay, nutrition. You ask Hippocrates, it's about nutrition. You want to hear what Thomas Edison, another genius, diba, in our time, what Thomas Edison said, okay? And I'm going to read it. Thomas Edison, the one who invented the light bulb and the electricity. You know, if you have electricity in your home or in your city, it's because of this guy, Thomas Edison. Sabi niya, looking into the future, no? He goes, the doctor of the future will give no medication, but he will interest his patients in the care of the human frame, in diet, and in the cause and prevention of disease. He's focusing on the diet and exercise, or movement, on diet and prevention. Thomas Edison says that. Okay. Hippocrates says almost the same thing. I would like to tell you that I believe it. I think you should believe it as well. Okay. So if anybody tells you, that what you are selling, what you're promoting, is not correct, they are wrong. You are the correct one. Okay. You are the correct one. If they want to get sick, bahala sila. Let them get sick. But you do not get sick. Your loved ones do not get sick. Okay? It is your duty to make your loved ones well. Okay? When you talk about duty, I'll go into the spiritual realm a little bit, okay? Kasi as much as it's a sensitive area, it is really important. Okay, the Lord gives gifts. Okay, they're called spiritual gifts, and some of the spiritual gifts that I'll mention is knowledge. Okay, is one. Wisdom is another. Healing is another. I'll talk about these 3 spiritual gifts. Okay, wisdom, knowledge, and healing. I'll start with healing. Healing is a gift given by the Lord through the Holy Spirit. No? All healing comes from up there. All healing comes from there. Okay? Ang mga manggagamot, we are only a bridge to it. Okay? We are only an instrument of healing. No? Would you believe that not all healers are doctors? Okay? Not all healers are doctors. And not all doctors are healers. Okay? Some people have the gift, some people don't. You want to be a healer, you get it from up there. Okay? You want to be a doctor, you go to school. Okay? You go to school. So, you graduate from school, you have a diploma that says you're a doctor. True. You're a doctor. Okay? Tama ka dun. No? Pinagpaguran mo yan. Pinaghirapan mo yan. Diba? Doctor ka. Are you a healer? Not necessary. Not necessary. Okay? Now, there are people in our community who are not doctors. Many of them are healers. Many of them, would you believe, again, are mothers. Okay? The mothers have this certain knowledge, you know. They have this touch. You know? God gave this gift to many of them. Now, I'm telling you, to those of you who think they have the gift of healing, magpasalamat kayo sa Diyos. Okay? To those of you who do not, you can actually ask for it, and the Lord will be so willing to give you that gift. Okay? If you don't have it, pray. 1 minute, mamayang gabi, 1 minute, spend some time with the Lord. Now, quiet time. Ask for that gift of healing. It always helps. Okay? To those who have it, as I said, thank the Lord. 1. 2, you ask yourself, why did the Lord give me this gift? And why not give it to somebody else? Why not my brother? Why not my cousin? Why not my classmate? Bakit ako? He gave it to you because He wants you to use it. He wants you to share it. Diba? He wants you to share it. So, with the knowledge you have about nutrition as being the way for proper health, please, that is knowledge. It's another gift. It's knowledge given to you. No? You can understand. Others cannot. No matter how much I will talk to them, how much you will talk to them about it, they cannot understand. Why? They don't have that gift of knowledge. Diba? You can pray for them that they get it. No? You can pray to the Lord that the Lord gives it. But if they don't have it, they don't have it. Kahit anong sabihin mo sa kanila. Pero you have it. No? Wisdom now, which is the other gift, will tell you, what do I do with this knowledge now? Anong kailangan kong gawin with my knowledge and my gift of healing? No? Share it. No? You share that gift with others. Teach people. Teach people. Pray for them. Share it. Do not be shy. Okay? Do not be shy. Because many people are thirsty and you have the water for that. Okay? Many people are hungry and you have the food for that. No? Many people are waiting lang. No? Waiting for somebody like you to bless them, no? With your knowledge, to bless them with your healing. No? Huwag kayong matakot. Gawin nyo yan. No? Kaya binigay sa iyo ng Lord. Diba? Gamitin nyo. Okay? Okay, ha? Hanggang dyan lang muna ako doon. Because it's not Sunday, it's Wednesday. No. I hope, I pray, and I'll pray for all of you. I pray that you will listen. I pray that you will get touched and be blessed by it. Okay? So my take home for you, for most of you is, I will show you. Relax lang. Di ba? Relax. 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 Take it easy. Be cool. Cool lang. Okay? You'll be fine. Now, let's go to our lockdown. Because we're all in a new environment. It's an old environment. It's our house. But it's a new situation where most of us really cannot step out of the house. May quarantine nga tayo no? Expanded community quarantine. Diba? One day, okay lang. Ako kiti-kiti ako no? I always have to talk to people, no? Obvious ba? Diba? I always have to meet people. I want to share. I want to teach. I'm a teacher by heart. No? But now I cannot. That's why when they ask me if I can share my views, no, here with you today, I said, "Ay naku, maraming salamat for the opportunity." Diba? I've been wanting to share. No, I've been wanting to bless people, no, with this. So, kung hindi kayo sanay, no, and most of us are not really. We've been in the house for more than a month, di ba? Magbo 1.5 months na ata tayo sa bahay, no? There is what you call cabin fever, no? They call it cabin fever kasi dati instead of airplanes, no, they would take boats, no, to move from one country to the other, like from here to the US, no, mainland. Dati mga 6 months yan, di ba? And yung mo is you're stuck in one cabin, no? So dahil sa haba, sa tagal ng pagka-stuck mo sa they call it cabin fever, no? You get sick. It's cabin fever. But now nga, no? It's used to say na di ka na mapakali, no? You're very uneasy, no? Now, I want to tell you how to get over this cabin fever, or the stress that it comes with. No? I spoke about this several days ago, maybe 5 days ago. Saturday morning, I think, with the students of UST Psychiatry, no? Department of Psychiatry ng UST, the doctors and their patients as well, no? And some doctorate students, no? And it was all about mental stress in time of COVID, no? Which we all are, no? Like me, no? Mostly all of you are in your house. I'm in my house. Okay, I'll share with you some points on how to not get too stressed. Okay, the first is you have to get busy doing something. Okay, you have to get busy doing something. It's easier said than done. I know some people have a harder time. I am fortunate that I have a garden. No, I am fortunate that I love flowers. So I plant a lot of flowers. I am fortunate that I like planting trees. Yes, you might not believe it. I might have about maybe 400 trees in my house now. 400 trees. I don't have a big lot, okay? Because most of my trees are in small plastic bags. No? I take care of them every day. When they mature, I bring them to my farm. May farm ako sa Quezon, pero I cannot go there. Diba? So I will wait. So I take care of so many trees. I have many flowers. I grow passion fruit. I have lemon. I have dragon fruit. Anything like that. No? So in my case, yeah, I spend my time outside, no, in the sun, working, gardening. No, the good thing about the sun is may vitamin D yan. Vitamin D, and vitamin D plays a big role in your immune system. No? In fact, the analysis of the people who get COVID, who get the virus, the coronavirus, is most of those who have the virus have very low vitamin D levels. Okay? So, isang clue yan, lumabas kayo, you get sunlight. Okay? Don't get dehydrated, but you get minimum 30 minutes of sun. Okay? Kung nasa labas kayo ng tanghaling tapat, it doesn't have to be 30 minutes. Okay? The more intense, the shorter. No? Pero in the more comfortable times like morning sun or late afternoon sun, ayan, mga 30 minutes. Kung pwedeng mong expose most of your skin, i-expose most of your skin. Kung lalaki kayo, take off your t-shirt, di ba? Absorb that sun. Okay? Absorb the sunlight. Because the sunlight actually activates the membranes of your cells, no? And it produces energy. No? It activates the outer membranes of your mitochondria in particular, and the mitochondria produces more ATP, ADP and ATP, adenosine triphosphate, which is converted into glucose, which is converted into energy. So that's the biochemistry of the sun. Okay? If I talk about the sun and how important the sun is, abot tayo ng hanggang bukas. Okay? So I won't get into it very, very deeply, but I want to tell you that the sun is our main source of energy on Earth. Okay? It is the main source. And I would mention it every once in a while. No? But it is the main source of energy on Earth. That is why plants that have chlorophyll, okay, are one of the most nutritious foods that you can take. Okay? Small green plants, chlorophyll, whether it's chlorophyll from our vegetables, no, our terrestrial vegetables, or chlorophyll from the sea, like chlorella and spirulina, no, these are very, very, very healthy, rich in vitamins, rich in energy. Okay, let me drink some water first. The sun is very important. No sun, makakasakit kayo. One last thing about the sun. So you know the importance. Okay? Where is the sun shining brightest? In the equator, in the North Pole, or in the South Pole? Simple ang tanong, ano? Siyempre, brightest in the equator. Diba? Correct. Diba? Now you look. The incidence of cancer on Earth is such that the farther away you are from the equator, the higher the incidence of cancer developing in you. I'll repeat. The farther you are from the equator, the higher the incidence of cancer. Okay? Mas makaka-cancer kayo kung malayo kayo sa equator. Tayo, malapit tayo sa equator. Eh. We're on top. We're not directly on the equator. We're on top. Kaya mainit. Ang Indonesia, they're below. Di ba? I mean, they're on the equator. They're on the equator. Tayo, we're kind of 5 degrees north, no? Up of the equator. But still, we're quite good. Kaya mainit eh. Mamaya, hanggang 39 degrees centigrade daw yung temperature natin sa NCR. No? But anyway, you see that? That's how fortunate we are. You look at all the countries now, no, that have the COVID. I don't know if you go. The first 20 countries, they're all in the cold climate. They're all in the cold climate. You look at Southeast Asia. Wait, let me and hold and accept. Okay. If you look at Southeast Asia, we're kind of on the bottom. Okay? Africa, on the bottom pa. Diba? On the bottom pa. Feeling ko, hindi tayo aabot sa mga likes ng the US na mag 1 million na ang no? Almost 1 million ang positive, almost 50,000 ang patay, di ba? And all of Europe, ang bilis, no? Tayo dito sa Philippines and Asia, not so. Why? We're near the equator. That's okay? And we have vitamin D. Okay? So I'll go back. Get busy. Okay? Para you take out mental stress. Get busy. Number 2, get involved. If masyadong maraming gulo, no, maraming namamatay, frontliners are dying and all, If you just sit down and wait for everything to pass, you won't feel very good. You'll say, wala akong pakinabang dito sa, sa problema. No? If you're not, some people say, if you're not part of the solution, you might be part of the problem. Diba? So I ask you now, I ask everybody, are you part of the solution? Part of the solution, of course, is staying home. Okay? Part of the solution is wearing a mask. But you can actually even go further. No? You can be more proactive. You can do more than the normal person and be part of the solution. Magtahi kayo ng mask, face mask. It doesn't have to go to the frontliners. You can give it to your neighbors. You can give it to people in the street, no? People who cannot afford masks, people who don't have masks. No? You can do that. No? In which case, you are being active. No? You're actively doing something. You can say, yes, ginawa ko to. No? You can make face shields. No? You can do that. My wife and the other doctors of my, in my clinic, as soon as there was a lockdown, they said, kawawa naman ang mga, ang mga taong wala masyadong pera, di ba? Saan manggagaling ang pagkain? And, if you rely only on the government, medyo delikado yan. No? It's good sana if we're very efficient, but many times we're not. As of yesterday, I was listening, marami pang hindi pa nakakatikim ng blessings ng government. Di ba? Marami pa. So, paano sila? So, itong mga doktor namin, mga nurse ng clinic, ng Central Lisico, they went on a food drive. No? Over media, they asked for donations of food. Some people gave money. No? So, nag-assess sila. No? They wanted to look for vegetable, munggo, bigas, canned goods. Lahat yan. Fresh vegetables, ha? So, for the I don't know, for 3 weeks, no? Parang since the start of this week, medyo nagkukul lang sila. No? I'm not sure why. Pero for the last 3 weeks, no? Banat sila. No? They just kept on making food. We gave it to yung presidente ng asosasyon dito sa subdivision. Yung presidente dito, binigay sa barangay captain. No? And the barangay captain gave it to the informal settlers dito sa No? Somehow, here in Parañaque, we were able to get also from the munisipyo. No? May bigas, may mask, no? May canned food. No? The canned food that they gave us and the bigas, we returned it so they can give it to others. Kasi, we're fortunate, we're blessed by the Lord that we have our own rice. Okay? We have our own rice. So, that's another diba? You get involved. You do something. At the end of the night, you sleep smiling. At the end of the lockdown, you say, may contribution na ka. Diba? That's good for your mind. That's good for your mind, that you did something positive. So, consider doing that. If you don't know what to do, you might want to, you know what you can do? You can reach out to people also. Many people are lonely. Many people live alone. Many couples live alone. Diba? Early this morning, kasi I sleep very late, early this morning, I watched a YouTube where an English couple, husband and wife from England, na-stuck sila sa Iloilo na-stuck dahil sa lockdown and they've been stuck for many weeks. But yesterday, some stranger just gave them a packet of food. Diba? May roasted chicken pa diba? Mayaman siguro yun. May muffins, may a small bag. And they were just so happy. Itong dalawang they were so happy. They said, wow, for the past weeks, we were feeling so bad. But this simple act of a stranger giving them muffins and chicken, parang nabura ang bad trip nila They said, ang Pinoy talaga, okay na okay. Okay na okay. So, okay, that's great. That's great. No? So that's good. So one, get busy. to get involved. What did I write here? 3. Okay, yeah, you can read, you can write, you can exercise. Many people like exercise. Me, one of my is I was, I think, 154 pounds in the start of the lockdown. And I said, by the end of the lockdown, I will be 140 pounds. Diba? So exercise, kung ano-ano. Diba? This morning, 147. So I lost 7 pounds na. Diba? So at least I'm thinking of things like this. It keeps me, 7 pounds to go. 7 pounds to go. Pero not much time. Okay. You can learn something. Okay? You can learn something. You can do cooking. You can learn a game. You can play a musical instrument. No? Again, check on family members. I remember when this lockdown happened, I called all my friends who are nurses and doctors who are abroad, asking them, how are they? How are you? How are you? How are you? Maraming tinamaan. Even today, one of my best friends, tinamaan din. Okay? Now, you can pray. Or meditate. Pray and meditate. Gives you good vibrations. You can help people that way. Again, for mental stress, be a positive influencer in the community. Maraming nega ngayon Maraming nega. Bakit yung ganyan? Bakit yung ganito? Kulang sa ganyan, Hindi nag-iisip, or whatever, Huwag kayong sumali dun, di ba? Huwag kayong sumali. No, you can discuss it, pero don't bring it out in the media, If you want to bring out something in the media, bring out something positive. Bring out something positive. So be a positive influencer. Get educated. Attend webinars like this one. Attend webinars like this. So you're educated. And lastly, move on. Okay? You have to move forward. The best way to keep away from mental stress is to accept that in the near future, in the next coming weeks, months, and years, there will be a new norm. There will be a new norm. Iba ang magiging buhay natin after this. It will not go back to the same, the same thing. No, hindi. If you expect that same thing, madidi-disappoint lang kayo. Masa-stress kayo. Mental stress kayo. Tanggapin mo ngayon na life will be different in the near future. Will it be good or bad? It depends on what you do. Diba? We can make it good. It will be different, but we can make it good. Okay? We can be in touch more with our friends, relatives, and loved ones. Hindi sila pabaya. We can be in touch with them. We can put more value into relationships. We can put more value into food. Into the value of food. We can put more value into how we feed ourselves, how we get ourselves healthy, how we make ourselves more immune. Kasi after the lockdown, hindi naman mawawala ang COVID. It will always be there. It will always be there for the rest of our lives. Nandun na yan. Diba? Tanggapin nyo yan. Learn how to move on. Okay? Now, I've been talking for so long. But I want you to realize kasi, in order to go from one place to the other, you have to know where you are now or where we are now. And I spent this time telling ourselves that this is where we are now. Okay? I will go into the next half of our or maybe on the COVID in particular, the virus in particular. I hope you don't mind. We will now go into the particulars of the virus. Okay? Many people think the virus is an animal or a living thing, or it's a germ, na may buhay. Yung virus hindi buhay It's not an organism. It's not. It is a protein molecule. It is a protein molecule. And the people might ask, hindi pala buhay. Why is it causing so much injury to us? Why is it causing so much injury? You think of COVID like a poison. no? Ang poison, hindi yan buhay, no? Chemical yan, no? Like many medicines, di ba? That the doctors give us, they're poisons, no? Not all, not all. May lugar ang medicines, no? But there are some that are really poisons. No? They're not good for us. If you watch James Bond movies, di ba? Or mga spy movies, kung mahuli ang isang spy, meron silang iinom na capsule na cyanide, no? When they take it, they die, di ba? Para hindi sila magbulgar kung anong mga secret na meron sila, no? Ganyan yan, no? So you can think of the COVID virus as something like a chemical like cyanide, di ba? It enters your body and it destroys your cells. Okay? It destroys your cells through chemical reactions. Okay? Through chemical reactions. Hindi kinakain ng katawan mo. Okay? It destroys by chemical reactions. Now, how is this transmitted? No? The virus has to enter your mouth, your nose, or your eyes. Okay? It has to go into one of these three membranes. Kaya, very important ang mask because the mask covers your nose and your mouth. Okay? The eyes, kaya may face shield tayo. Okay? At least the frontliners may face shield. Ako, when I go out, sometimes I don't use face shield, but I wear glasses. Kung maaraw, I wear my sunglasses. Kung sa gabi, then I use regular eyeglasses, no? Just to protect my eyes. No? Not 100%, but it's good. Okay? So it has to pass through that. Okay? May dito sa bahay ko, may isang no? May isang katulong, no? Kasambahay dito sa ano ko. And she was instructed na for the time being, no, of this lockdown, she cannot actually go out and mingle with other people. No? Mahirap nga, mahirap. Pero that's the reality. You cannot mingle because you do not know who is carrying the virus or not. Diba? So, the best way, if you want to be safe, no, is assume that everybody has. No? Assume everybody is positive. No? So, you play safe. Si kasambahay, she stepped out for a while, no? Stepped out of the house and went to her cousin's house, which is around the corner lang. At dun siya nag-spend ng 4 hours kasama yung pinsan niya. Tapos bumalik, di ba? Nung bumalik, ayan na, di ba? He said, saan kayo galing? No? He says, doon sa pinsan ko. No? I said, sigurado kayo na walang COVID yung pinsan mo? Because, oo, wala siyang symptoms. Tama ba yan, guys? 80% of people with COVID, walang sintomas. Pero, pwede nilang ipasa yung COVID sa iyo. Okay? So, the COVID virus doesn't have to express itself in symptoms. It does not have to do that. That's why you cannot be sure whether somebody is positive or not. That's why it's always important to say, yes, no, yes, this person is positive, no, unless they can show me in writing, no, in the exam, like mine, I have papers to prove na negative na ako. Negative siya, no? Pero hindi. Wala daw symptoms. I said, ni-lecture na kita no, about this. No? May mga symptoms, ganyan. So, ganyan yan. No? You have to assume that people are positive. No? So, this is the way it spreads. You don't even have to be in the same room, no, as somebody with COVID to get it. No? If you talk close and both of you are not wearing masks, you can get it. No? Let's say may isang kwarto. May pumasok na COVID, no, positive na pasyente. Hindi niya alam na positive pasyente. Inubos siya. No? Tapos, umalis sa kwarto. After 1 minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 5 minutes, 30 minutes, pumasok ka. Diba? Na walang mask. May COVID pa ang ano. Kasi it lasts for hours. Eh. Some people nga say days. Eh. Lasts for hours. Eh. So nandun ka sa kwarto. No? Kung saan siya umubo or ano, or nag-sneeze. And the COVID is around. Can you get it? Yes, you can. You can get it. Kahit nawala na siya dun. Diba? That's why, again, you have to be careful. Okay? Now, you have questions, guys? You write it down, huh?
Yeah. Barley na, Doc.
Yes. Now, I am into my my main point. Important ang ano, ha? Ang background na yan, ha? Now, one. As I said earlier, there is one thing that you can do that only you, ikaw lang ang makakagawa. No? That is to increase your immune system. How do you increase your immune system? By eating the right food. Okay? Putting into your body the right stuff. Okay? And what is the right stuff? You should, you ask. No? Clinically, if we talk about the destruction of cells, okay, as you'll see in infection and in aging, no? There are only two processes. Guys, listen to this. There are only two processes in your body that leads to, or that is responsible for aging and disease. No? One is called oxidation, and the second is called inflammation. Okay? Oxidation and inflammation. So, if you address inflammation, no, you will do yourself 50% of a favor. If you address oxidation, then you will address the other 50%. If you do both, then even better. Now, simply put, okay? Ang inflammation is pagmamaga, no? When something is injured, like in COVID, no? People die because of inflammation of the lungs. Okay? Because the COVID will enter your mouth, your nose, and your eyes, and will go to the lungs. In the lung, it will cause injury. And because of that injury, ito na si inflammation. No? Papasok yan. Your body gets inflamed because your body brings in fluids, healing substances into the injured part para matreat. No? Ang problema is, when there is too much inflammation, no, there is too much fluid. There's too much response into the lung. No? So too much fluid now into the lung. Plasma, lymph, blood, lahat yan. No? Magko-concentrate sa lung yan kung saan may injury. No? Mapupuno ang lung yan, you can drown. You can drown. Because your lungs now have so much fluid, hindi na no? It doesn't get, it's hard to breathe, no? Kaya the main issue na is COVID is nahirapan kang huminga, difficulty of breathing. Why? Because of inflammation. Okay? Now, the second type of injury is called oxidation. This is actually the breakdown of your cells. So before inflammation comes in, there is oxidation. Okay? The oxidation is, again, chemically, the stealing of some oxygen atoms, no, and molecules from good cells. No? There's a good cell, no? And if you take out the oxygen, remember, our cells need oxygen. Okay? You take out the oxygen, mamamatay ang cell na yan. Mamamatay ang cell. And that's what oxidation does. No? if you want to be visual about it, no, let us examine an apple, diba? Mansanas. You get a knife, you cut the apple in half, no? Fresh na fresh, no? Bright yellow, juicy apple, makita mo, no? You leave that apple on the table for several minutes. You will observe that yung bright yellow na apple na yan, nagiging brown. Okay? Nagiging brown, nabubulok. Okay? Kasi namamatay ang mga cells due to oxidation. Okay? So, if you actually want to prevent your apple from getting oxidized, diba? You dip it in a solution with either vinegar or lemon, no? Then you'll see that it'll always be, it'll always look fresh. You can do that with your vegetables also, because the lemon is an antioxidant. Okay, so it prevents the cell from oxidizing. What else is an antioxidant? Would you believe one of the most beneficial qualities or characteristics of barley is it is a very, very, very strong antioxidant. One of the highest of the natural foods. One of the highest, no? Maybe the highest, but it's really one of the highest. Nandun talaga, no? Higher than almost anything else you can spell, no? So as an antioxidant, it protects your cells. Okay? It protects it from getting injured. It protects it from the virus stealing the oxygen, no? It prevents it from stealing because the bonds now, parang hawak na hawak yung oxygen, no? Ng mga molecules. Parang gustong kunin ng infection, pero hindi. Na makapit yung antioxidant, no? Yung barley mismo. Okay? That's the main effect, no? If you look at the studies again, no, of after studying this virus which has been around for 3 or almost 4 months, you will note that there are 3 things, no? 3 vitamins, no, that can actually help prevent you from getting very sick. Okay? 3 vitamins. Remember this: vitamin A, vitamin B, and vitamin C. Okay? Vitamin A, B, and C. Kanina we talked about D, di ba? Sama mo na yan, di ba? Nandun na yan eh. No, we talked about that. So vitamin A, B, and C. Is it hard to remember A, B, C? Hindi, di ba? A, B, C. Where do you find vitamin A? You find it in greens. Diba? You find it in green leaves, natural products, no? And all that stuff, okay? Vitamin A. Where do you find vitamin B? You find that in certain foods as well, no? Lots of it in fruits, lots of it in vegetables. Where do you find vitamin C? Also in foods that have been richly blessed by the sun. Okay? So A, B, and C. Now, is it a coincidence, no? Or is it really a gift from God, no? That there are foods, no, that are very rich in A, B, and C, no? And there are some foods that are rich in C, okay? Not much A, not much B. There are some that are rich in B, not much A, not much C. Or A, but not no? The products that you carry, no? Barley in general, no? Or these rich greens are very rich in vitamins A, vitamins B, and vitamin C. Ano pang gusto nyo, no? May sun na, di ba? Yung vitamin D, libre yan. Libre yan. Of course, there are capsules, no? If you want to supplement pala with vitamin D, you take about 5,000 international units a day. no? But I'm telling you now, the sun gives you more vitamin D than the supplements. Okay? If you can take both, because you don't go out in the sun too often, you take both. But the vitamin A, B, and C are very, very, very important. No? Now, vitamin C in particular, no? Aside from it being good for your immune system, in my clinic, we actually use vitamin C to, listen to this, to treat cancer. No? To treat cancer. And we are doing very well. No? This is IV vitamin C. Okay? The one who discovered vitamin C, his name is Linus Pauling, no? Or Linus Pauling. I think he's a German. No? He says you should take 3,000 milligrams a day. Okay? If you look at the recommended daily allowance ng US FDA, they're talking about 64, 164. Na nakalimutan ko na. That is so low. That is very, very low. Okay? Kulang na kulang yan. No? You take 500 milligrams, most people take 500 milligrams. Not really. Again, the one who discovered says, take 3,000. No? I take 3,000. Especially in times like this, where the immune system is the key. Diba? You know, if you read the reports, no, and the assessments of the COVID virus, in the first line lang, or the first sentence, or the first paragraph in most of these assessments, it will state that the virus is strong because there is no immunity in the population. The word is immunity. Okay? Ang labanan dito is immunity. How do you increase your immunity? A, B, C, D. Okay? A, B, C, D. Saan kukuha ang D? Saan? Saan mo kukuha ang A, B, C? Alam mo na. Di ba? Alam mo na. It's with you. Okay? You have, well, I don't know. No? You have a very, very good product. No? Do not shy away from it. No? Do not shy away. No? It can only do good. It cannot do any harm. It can only do good. What is my recommendation for vitamin C? Maybe you need to supplement. Okay, aside from your barley that you take, no, you take vitamin C. You want me to show you something? I'll show you something again. Ha? Baka ma-shock ka eh. Alam mo to? Vitamin C. Libo-libo. Libo-libo. That's for my family. Okay? Vitamin C. That's how important it is. That's how important. When I got exposed, to the virus, I was taking 6 milligrams.
Yes.
At 6 grams pala. 6,000 milligrams a day. Okay? Nakita mo na ba yung muscles ko? Joke lang. Okay? No. My immune system, I have to say, is solid. Okay? Is solid. Why? I eat well. I get sunlight. I take my vitamin C. No? And I eat lots and lots of greens. Lots and lots of greens. Before COVID came, I was gifted and blessed. I actually tried taking barley in powder. Okay, that was late last year and early this year. Okay, I was taking it on a daily basis. Una, masarap, di ba? So yeah, that's good. That's good. So I've been healthy. I've been healthy. No, I've been healthy in general. But how healthy can you be, di ba? I'm 61. I told you, I'm 61. I was exposed. Walang simptomas. Okay? Walang simptomas. you have to focus on your immunity. Okay, nothing better, or I don't know, no, if there's anything better. I look at it, I review your product. No, I don't want to be biased, but kung yan ang totoo anong masasabi ko, di ba? Can I say otherwise? No, I can't. No, I look at it. It has a good ORAC level, no, meaning it is a very good antioxidant. It's a great antioxidant. It has A, B, and C, and it has lots of protein pa, di ba? How many? What? 45% of the barley, no, in powder form is protein. Di ba? Proteins there to build you up and to repair your cells. So here you are, building up your immune system. Kung tinamaan naman ang mga cells mo, you have what it takes to build up your cells, and you have antioxidants too. Diba? So vitamin C itself is also an antioxidant. No? So it's very strong. I will advise all my patients, really, no? For this COVID, there's no walang gamot no? Walang gamot talaga to no? There has been no anong gamot sa sipon. Wala. And that's a very common virus, di ba? Is it a common virus? Yeah, very common. Hanggang ngayon, walang gamot. No? Last night, it was proven, hydrochloroquine, no? Not effective. In fact, it can do damage. No? Okay. Not surprising. Kasi if that was good, sana yung sipon, okay din di ba? But SARS, wala. MERS, wala. Ordinary sipon, walang gamot. No? So do not expect, that they will come up with a proper medicine. In fact, do not expect that they come up with a vaccine. No? Do not expect. If it comes out, salamat, di ba? But do not expect. In the meantime, you have only one game to play, okay? And that game is the game of immunity, okay? To your loved ones, your family, your parents, your brothers, sisters, your children, it's immunity, no? The best, simplest way is to take the proper nutrition. And believe me, you guys are on the right track. Barley, powdered barley, will give you what it takes, no, to increase your immune system. Okay, you can ask me anything, no, about it in writing or orally. I will tell you about it as much as I want to think. Kasi one time I thought, ano pang pwedeng gumawa ng this kind of effect, no, where everything except the sunlight is in, di ba? You have your chlorophyll, you have your protein, you have your vitamin A, B, C, ano pa? Diba? Wala na. Maybe the only thing left here is, and I always tell my patient, is hydration and positive vibrations. Yeah? Hydration, positive vibration. We talked about being positive earlier, no? In how to move forward, how to take out this mental stress, no? Positive vibrations. Yan ang contribution mo sa komunidad. Have positive vibrations. 1. 2, hydrate yourself very well. Very well. And you know what? The funny thing is, when you take your barley, do you take it out of the pack like that? No. Di ba? Hinahalo niya di ba? Hinahalo niya with water. Okay? That's the other Di ba? That's the other thing. So, ano pa? Di ba? Ano pang gusto natin? What else can we do? It's all there. It's all there. You might have to supplement a little more with vitamin C. Diba? You might have to do that. But then again, it's all there. Positivity na lang. No? Positivity. There's not much more we can do. No? Listen. Relax. Diba? share your knowledge, share your wisdom. I want to say, but I might be going too far, but you share your barley. I'm telling you, share your barley with your loved ones. Share your barley with yourself, diba? Your family, your friends. Share it in media. Do not get scared. No, do not be shy. Do not be meek. You have been given the knowledge. Okay? Not everybody has it. You have been given the knowledge. Gamitin mo yan. Diba? You have been chosen as a conduit to healing. You are a healer. Gamitin mo yan. Diba? Gamitin mo yan. Huwag kang pashay-shy. Sige, pashay-shy ka. Ayan, namatay na yung isang kaibigan mo. Diba? Huwag kang kaya binigay sa iyo ang mga gift na yan eh. So you can share it. Malinaw?
Yes.
Yeah,
Agree.
malinaw. Yeah.
Agree, Doctor.
Yeah.
Thank you.
There's nothing more. There's nothing more. It's all there. Okay?
You've heard enough, no? You've heard, we need to hear more, no? Pero medyo limited. So I have questions lang, Doctor. So business owners, yun ang pinaka-takeaway natin. Share the barley. You know the good
Share it. It's the good news. It's good.
Yeah, so for the first question, no, these are from the distributors.
Yes.
Is barley good for pregnant and lactating mothers?
Most definitely. Most definitely. No, it is good for the pregnant people as well. However, I will say however, no, anytime a woman is pregnant, no, you have to be more observant. Kasi may mga allergy, di ba? Or taking too little, taking too much, not taking it properly, di ba? May ganon, no? And because the woman, when they're pregnant, the immune system is a little lower. Being pregnant is part of the comorbidity, right? That we talked about, no? May diabetes, may hypertension, may obesity. Being pregnant is also a comorbidity. Why? Because the immune system is lower. So, if the immune system is lower and you take barley, is that bad? No. In fact, if you're pregnant, you should take barley. Okay? You should. Diba? Malinaw.
Yes, they just want to hear it from you, Doctor. Because
Yep.
the fear. Second, can it be used for weight loss? The barley.
Well, depends how you take it. Okay? Barley itself,
yes.
If you take it in to replace a meal, no, to replace a bad meal, no, then it's okay, no, it will help. But if you're taking barley but then you're not eating well also, no, kung ano-anong kinakain mo, maraming sugar and all, too much carbohydrates, edi wala din eh, di ba? Now, maybe they're trying to say, can it replace a meal? Okay. This is what I have to say here. No? In the world today, we eat 3 times. Diba? 3 times a day. In my household, I was growing up, hindi lang 3 times. And most Filipino households, 6 times pa nga eh. Kasi may merienda pa eh. No? When I was growing up, 12 midnight, 12 midnight, may kakatok sa door ko eh. No? My sisters. And they'll say, midnight snack. Diba? Gigisingin pa kami for midnight snack. Diba? So we eat so often. No? We eat so often. It's a wonder we're not obese. Diba? Kasi hyper kami. No? Hyper kami. Obese ba? Obese ba, Minette? I talk too much. Diba? And I told you, I really talk too much. Okay, so can it be used to replace? It can help. Okay? Instead of eating three meals, you stop 1 meal. No? Maybe dinner. You take your barley. Diba? Although it might be good to have it twice a day. No? It really depends. Okay? You won't be killing yourself because we actually eat too much. Okay?
So next question is, what would be the advantage of barley compared to other natural products?
Okay. As I said, the advantage of barley is it's all in one. Diba? Nandyan na lahat eh.
Complete food.
Before, when I used to take vitamins, Talagang isa-isa yan. No? I'll take vitamin A and then I'll take vitamin P and then take vitamin C. Ang daming, daming tableta, daming pills. No? Until, of course, they come up with a multivitamin. Kaya tawag multivitamin. No? Isang lak lang, okay na. No? That's basically what it is. It makes it easy. Makes it easy to remember, no? When it comes to compliance, they call it, no? When doctors give medicine, is it better for us to give 3 times a day or once a day? No? You know what? It's actually easier for us to give once a day kasi they only have to remember it once. If you give it 3 times a day, they have, ay, nakalimutan kong, ininom kaninang hapon, no? Because compliance, the more you give it, no? The more difficult it is, no? If the instructions are harder, the harder it is for you to follow. No? Or you take this medicine, MWF lang. Yung isa, TTH. Pero sa Tuesday, you take it in the morning, and Thursday, you take it in the evening. Ay, nako. Mahirap yan, di ba? If you say, oh, guys, take it once a day, 12 noon. Tapos, di ba? Paggising, take it. Compliance. What is the advantage? The compliance is easier. Okay? It's all there. It's all there. Isang lang.
Yes.
And as I told you before,
is,
masarap. It tastes good.
it good taste talaga, Doc.
Yeah.
So how do we, next question is, how do we answer people when they insist that why they are vitamin C, there is already vitamin barley, parang additional. As you've said, there's vitamin
yes.
A, B, and C.
Okay.
Because others are taking a different vitamin C.
Remember, you may take the right medicine, but given at the wrong dose, di ba? Baka walang effect. Is there such a thing as overdose? Yeah. Is there such a thing as underdose? Yes. Di ba? Am I right? You can take the right medicine. Sabihin natin may pneumonia ka, no? And you're supposed to take amoxicillin, 500 milligrams 3 times a day for 7 to 10 days, no? That's a normal, community-acquired pneumonia. So, okay, yeah, I'm taking amoxicillin naman talaga, no? Pero I'm taking it at 50 milligrams lang, hindi 500 milligrams, no? At instead of 3 times a day, I take it only once a day. O the wrong dose, tama. Umiinom ka ng amoxicillin. Pero tama bang dose? Hindi. So do you get cured? No. In fact, you develop resistance. So there is a thing as proper dosaging. Proper dosaging. I'll give you another example. To prevent infections, okay, on a maintenance level, you normally take 1 gram to 3 grams of vitamin C a day. 1 to 3 grams of vitamin C a day. Prevention. When you have cancer, do you still take the same dose? 1 gram or 3 grams? No. You take 1 gram to 1.5 grams per kilogram body weight. Diba? Iba yan. IV pa yan. Ha? IV pa yan. See? So, I always have a question with FDA and doctors. My question is, when does a vitamin become a medicine? Diba? And it becomes a medicine when it reaches a certain dosage. In Ayurvedic medicine, that's how it is. Okay? Everything depends on the dose, including gamot. No? In gamot, in Ayurvedic medicine or homeopathic medicine, you give a small quantity of the infection, okay? And your body will develop antibodies to fight it. Okay? It's not a contra-infection. It is a small quantity of the virus or a small quantity of the bacteria, no? Of the pathogen. Ganyan ang ng homeopathy. So, ang vitamin C, you take it as a regular vitamin, but when you get sick, no, you can actually increase the dose and it becomes a medicine.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yes. Very good.
That's clear, huh?
Yes. Okay. So
Sige.
our barley is certified organic. How
Yes.
important is this to you, Doc? The organic product. How important is this to you?
Everything organic comes from the Lord. Okay? It's natural. It's made by the same creator that made us. It's congruent, no, with our bodies, no. Kumbaga, it's on the same vibration, nakakaunawa ang organic material, no, from us, because we are organic creatures as well, no? You cannot overstress no, na the importance of being organic, because kung may makontaminate ng konti, no, ang gamot, no, or ang barley, and you put it into your body, the inorganic, no, the poison, the chemical, the one that is not made for our bodies, the one that is not made actually by God for us to eat, will enter your body, no?
Mhm.
And that's what can cause disease. It is not recognized by our organic body. Diba?
Yeah.
Now, that is normally extruded, no? Hindi ina-absorb yan. Ang problema is, sometimes sa dami, sa viral load, ito na naman tayo sa load, di ba? Sa load ng pathogen or inorganic sa atin, kapag masyadong malaki, papasok din yan sa katawan natin. No? So there are many things that we have to watch out for. And one of it is getting chemicals, other chemicals, non-natural chemicals, into our body, because it can harm us. It can harm us. So you have to have your medicines, your vitamins, as purely organic. The more organic it is, the more pure it is, the better. Okay? Kapag may halo yan, tingnan mo, look, di ba I told you, I used to be with the Bureau of Food and Drug, no? And it was in my term in the Department of Health where we came out with yung 10 halamang gamot, di ba? We imported German scientists to come to the Philippines, stay here, and study 20 of our medicines, no, our herbal meds. And they did. They studied. They came up with their studies, conclusions, and all. And then we had the private sector grow these medicines. Let's talk about Lagundi or Sambong. Diba? Ang Lagundi and Sambong is like this. You can supply Lagundi and Sambong as much as you want to our 4 government-owned herbal medicine plants. However, no, you cannot have a farm that is closer than 1 kilometer to another farm that uses chemicals or pesticides. You cannot. We can detect that in our laboratory. Diba? Why? Because no? You're giving medicine, but you're introducing something bad also. No? So may plus, may minus, may plus, may minus. Hindi pwede yan. Hindi pwede yan. No? You want it to be medicine, it has to be as pure as possible. We will check that before we make it into a tablet, diba? Or put it into a capsule. If you are within 1 kilometer of somebody who is using a chemical or a spray or whatever, makikita yan. No? So, no? In fact, you come to my clinic, no? I test your blood. No? I can see if you have heavy metals in your blood, okay? Through the microscope. No? And that's what we do in our clinic. No? When you come, before anything else, we check your blood. No? It's called live blood analysis.
Yeah.
And you can tell, no, if somebody is exposed to heavy metals or not, kung smoker o hindi, kung kumakain ng canned food or hindi, kasi ang canned food maraming chemical, no? Maraming heavy metal. Ang cigarette meron as well. You can tell if somebody lives near EDSA or inside the no, more arboreal or yung mga areas na mas maraming puno, diba? Kasi makikita mo talaga. See, so yes, organic is the best.
Very important, organic. Okay, so I will be sending you the other questions because the questions are being answered already through your discussion. Like,
Okay. Oh, I cannot hear you. Your voice, the volume disappeared. Okay, again.
Okay. So, I mean, one question is what kind of activity should we engage into to help boost our immune system? So, you mentioned it na exercise, eating the right. Okay, so how does the quarantine affect our overall health and how barley can help? No.
Okay.
So,
Yeah.
Now that we had our last question, let me move into closing this
Okay.
wonderful and highly informative session. Okay,
Hey guys, I hope you learned something. Okay, I hope you learned something.
Of course. But maraming question. Yung isa pang ang question dito, Doc, is questioning about the DOH. Bakit daw puro statistics na lang ng death, bakit hindi immune system, which is really a very good pero this is it will be a long discussion so I know marami pa ring questions but we've learned a lot from you. It's been 2 hours since so maraming salamat.
Sabi ko
Doc,
sa iyo, madaldal ako eh. You've been warned.
Thank you kasi we've been scheduling you sa office twice already na beaten na anuhan because of
imagine if I can lecture in front of you live. Oh, I'd love that. I'd love that talaga. We'll have more games.
We will have that talk for the Okay, so Ate Lynette, for your last thank you message for everyone, for all our business owners.
Yeah, I want to thank everyone who participated and logged in to this live webinar with Doc Mikey, and also everyone who's on FB Live. I hope you learned a lot. And ito na yung new normal natin. Na tayo magdadagdag ng mas maraming webinar para sa inyong kaalaman at para sa the things that you can use as you build your business, as you build your organization. As Doc Mikey said, don't be shy, share your knowledge, share your wisdom, because everyone in Sante Barley is a healer. We have the product that can heal. So congratulations, everyone.
Thank you, Ate Minette.
Thank you, Minette.
I would like
Thank you, Doc Mikey.
A passage I wish to quote also, being healthy does not mean changing ourselves overnight. What we choose to do each day of our lives is what will determine the kind of person we want to be. What matters is how we respond, what is happening to our environment, the people we interact with, and the challenges that come our way. Each day is a blessing. Crisis or no crisis, the grass is greener in Sante Barley. Thank you very much po. Maraming salamat po. Doc, we will invite you again. We will have more sessions.
Please.
Thank you everyone to business owners. Thank you, Doc. Maraming salamat.
Thank you. So God bless everybody.
God bless po. God bless. So for next Wednesday, I would like to take this opportunity also to invite everyone. Next Wednesday, we will be having again, a resource person, okay? Because every Wednesday na po itong ating session, okay? So next week, mark your, save the date, April 29, Wednesday, crisis or no crisis, our topic, choosing the right attitude in the midst of adversity. Our resource person is Matteo Guidicelli, actor, triathlete, and Sante Barley, our brand ambassador. Of course, our co-moderator, our beloved CEO, Joey Marcelo, and our beloved NetDev, Paul Kaluwag. Thank you, everyone. Thank you po. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Bing. Thank you, everyone.
Salamat po.